right. I'm in a limo. They picked me up in a limo. So now we're heading to the customs. And then hopefully we get through. And we'll be heading to the hotel. It's kind of badass. So earlier this summer, I was asked to be a part of a production up in Canada called The Battle of the Voices, where they basically chose 5 former reality TV show contestants, Matt Gerard, Lakeisha Jones, Josh Logan, Bria Kelly, and myself. They paired us up with a world-class band, some of the best players, and some of the finest dancers I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and basically had us take turns singing for the championship in front of a crowd of about 1,500 people each night. During some downtime backstage, I was able to sit down with a couple of my fellow contestants and ask them some hard-hitting questions. Check it out.
I'm Josh Logan. I was on Rockstar Supernova in 2006, and most recently on season 5 of The Voice.
I'm Bria Kelly. I am from Smithfield, Virginia, and I was on top 10 of The Voice season 6 and top 20 on season 7 of America's Got Talent.
I don't know, it kind of chose me kind of deal. I helped Mom do her karaoke show, and via that I got to perform in front of people, just like imitating other artists and just, you know, getting into bars at a young age and kind of digging that vibe. And then I stole my sister's guitar, her acoustic. She got it for Christmas and she never played it, so I just took it, and she never got it back. Kind of a bummer for her, because she's like, I could have. She plays now, but I'm like, well, it's too late, dude.
I auditioned for The Voice open call. You know, I didn't, none of the producers knew about me. None of the casting people knew about me. I auditioned in St. Louis, waited 5.5 hours, and I was eventually in the top 10. So
I think anytime you get to be in a room with celebs, you know, or you get to perform for people of that caliber, you automatically feel like you've made it somewhere, even though after the game's over and the lights go off, you've gone nowhere. I mean, you get a little bit of exposure, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you feel so good about it, and then a month after you're kicked off the show, or after the show passes, you know, it's like, well, shit, what do I do now?
After getting voted off of America's Got Talent and auditioning for The Voice, I realized that, you know, blues music was what I really wanted to do. I started learning blues chords and writing my own, like, bluesy songs, kind of like Adele, DZ Ward, you know, Jay Nash, amazing people like
you
that.
You know Jay Nash?
I do know Jay Nash. Do you?
Jay Nash.
Were you on the record singing Pretty Things?
TFDI. Yeah.
I had that song on my phone for years.
That's
oh my
crazy.
God.
That's awesome.
I knew you I knew you from somewhere, and that's it. Oh my God.
What has been made easier, and what has, if anything, been more difficult having come off the show?
You know, you get better gigs, I guess. You know, you get a little bit more money, and you get to meet cool people like Tony Lucca. Yeah, you gotta kiss your ass a little bit. It's your interview.
After the show, I went full throttle into graduating high school. I left LA, and I immediately went back into, you know, the same school that I had not been in for 80 days. Wow. And, you know, it was weird. It was really, really weird, but, you know, I graduated, and it was amazing. I went to community college for art, and I just got accepted into the #1 public art school in the United States for graphic design, known as VCU Arts in Richmond, Virginia. So I'm super pumped about that.
Bitch.
Yeah, badass.
You know, Niagara Falls Casino. I probably wouldn't have done that had I not been on either one of those TV shows, you know. And I'm just blessed, you know. I'm happy. I try not to take anything for granted, and just, you know, welcome everything as it comes to me.
Number one advice I would give, and I'm sure like all of us here know this, but it's to not audition or, you know, come into the competition with a song that has been played on the radio a million times and sing it exactly like the artist who previously recorded it. Somehow make an amazing song your own and make it something different. And that's basically something that will make you stand out in the end.
So, you know, if you're going to do a reality show, and you should, you know, because it's valuable and you'll never get that kind of exposure anywhere else, ever. You know, come out as strongly as you possibly and as passionately as you possibly can, and then show them what else you have in your repertoire, you know what I mean? And I think you should do that with anything that you do. Always pretend like it's the last show you're ever going to do.
All in all, it was about 12 days in Canada. The shows were a ton of fun. The evening hotel parties each night were even more fun. We even crashed the local karaoke scene at the Margaritaville up the street, which was incredible. Otherwise, we just spent the days taking in the falls and enjoying some really beautiful summer days in Canada. Not too bad.